Hi everybody, hope this finds you well. Just want to talk about a few things about showing up for yourself with compassion, with grace, and how that can shift you through several things that you might be experiencing or going through. So basically, when we show up for ourselves with compassion, we can show up with others with compassion as well. So for instance, I've been going through a lot of my old journals. Oh, that's been fun. Where I just see the brokenness that I experienced in my 20s, like fresh out of carried over from high school into my 20s, and just the loneliness, the brokenness, the desperation to be loved and accepted. And I just looked upon those old journals first with like, oh my God, I was so psycho. And then I went, no. Let's shift that. Let's heal this space. Let's make sure this space is healed, because I've done a lot of the self work to get into a better frame of mind, to be more connected with my self-value, my self-worth, and to not seek things out of desperation. And that is a huge piece of self-harm right there, is seeking things out of desperation. Anyways, coming back to the point. Basically, instead of slamming myself, my younger self in that moment, I stepped forward and stepped into myself by going, I'm going to heal this right now. I'm looking at this and I just want to pour so much love into myself. So I did that exercise of just kind of meditating and just being like, talking to my younger self basically is what it was. And I know that sounds weird, but that also taps into our subconscious to heal those latent things that are unresolved. A second part of that is to champion where I'm at now from where I was. So journaling and that sort of thing has its merits. I'm not the best with journaling anymore, sorry, but I do use social media to kind of keep track of where I've come from and where I'm going. Journaling is the same thing. So I can look at those days and go, wow, I was so broken. I was so desperate. I was just so lost. And in this space where I'm at now and where I've come from, I see that I've gone leaps and bounds from where I was. And yes, I still mess up and still make mistakes, because I've healed those segments of that neediness. But through what I've experienced and what I've gone through, there's been another thing that's cropped up where I've been a little too controlling in certain situations and not listening as strongly as I should have in certain situations. And so now I have to look at that and go, okay, I've healed all this stuff from my past. Now I'm aware of what's coming up for me in this space presently. So now I can deal with that before it turns into a whole nother subset of problems that I'm spending years to heal and deal with. So yeah, this process has been really great, and it really comes down to having self-compassion, to go in those moments with love for yourself, with the love and ability to say that I am learning, and to really own that. And the only way you're going to own that learning is by showing up with self-compassion. Because if you're not bringing compassion in, you're sitting there bullying yourself. You're sitting there shaming yourself. You're sitting there blaming yourself for these things. And you're not taking that learning, what you've experienced and what you've gained from these experiences and what you've gained from your self-awareness, to pull all of that forward into shifting your life onto a better track, which is taking that learning and implementing it. If you're spending your time kicking yourself in the ass, guess what? You're not spending time implementing what you need to implement to make your life better. You're spending time pulling yourself down into a downward spiral when you've got to raise yourself up and accept this challenge of this is another thing that I need to work on. I'm aware of it. I accept it. When you're sitting there steeped in shame and blame, you're not accepting it. You're accepting shame and blame. And nobody needs that for themselves, period. We get enough stuff from people outside of us trying to force us into their views, into their limitations, into their ideals, where they will try to shame us for those very reasons of not living up to their ideals or their expectations. I sometimes, as a parent, do that with my kid, and it's awful. Like, I recognize that, I notice that, and we work through these things. Like, we discuss, we sit there and go, okay, I messed up, or I have unrealistic expectations. What is it that we can do? How can I support you to be the best you as possible in this situation when I need at least something along these lines to be done within the household? So just know, basically what it comes down to is have compassion for yourself. If you are not living in compassion, you're not going to carry that over to others, and you're not going to carry your own mistakes into these gems of wisdom and these building blocks for your life to thrive. So if you are dealing with internal shame or blame that either is coming from you or from others that you've taken on yourself, we do that so much, and nobody needs that. Just know that I'm here to support you, to highlight your strengths, even when you feel like you do not have any merits and you're just a mess up. Believe me, I've been there. And I am sitting here today in such huge gratitude to know that I've gotten through that. So you're not alone. We all do this in one way, shape, form, or one way or another. And I get it, but I want to get you through it. So if you're open to having a session, definitely schedule one. Free sessions. Let's work together to get you through these things that are holding you back and into your own personal greatness. I hope that this has helped someone, even if you don't schedule a session, even if you don't resonate with me. I really pray that you can take what you've learned from this and carry it forward into your life and implement that greatness that lies within you into avenues to help others as well. All right, peace, guys. Have a good one.